Hello, this is part 2 of a video series about GDExtension. In this video, I'm going to explain a little bit about scons because we are going to build our GDExtension project with scons. So let's see how scons work. Here I prepared some example about scons. We are going to start with the simplest one, which is example number 0. Actually, every time you are going to run scons in the folder, uh, it's going to search for a file which is called sconstruct. Sconstruct basically is a Python script. In this example, I write a simple Python script which print a hello world on the screen. Let's run scons in this folder and see how it's working. So scons, as you can see, it's going to print hello world in the screen, but it's also going to print out a lot of other stuff. But if you want to show only hello world, you can run scons with dash capital Q. So it's going to show me only the hello world, not other stuff. So let's go to the next example. In this example, we have a CPP file which is going to print out a hello world in the screen. Let's see if we can compile this program with the scons. So like before, I created a sconstruct text file. And in this text file, I specify a function which is called program. The first part of this function is program name, which is hello. And the second part, you are specifying the C++ code that you want to compile. So now if I run scons, as you can see, this is going to create a hello world program for me. Scons is intelligent in the sense that it knows which CPP file is changed. So if I run scons again, as you can see, it's not going to compile main.cpp because it knows that main.cpp is not changed. So if I now change my main CPP and now run scon again, as you can see, it's recompiling the main CPP. This is very good because in large projects, when you change some few CPP file, it's going to compile only those files. And obviously that takes less time. So now let's go to the next example. In this example, I specify a CPP class which is called math. As you can see, this is the header file. I specify a class math which has constructor, destructor, and it has a function which is called add and subtract. And it also has math.cpp file which defines the body of these functions, which is math constructor, destructor, the add function which adds two numbers together, and subtract which is going to subtract two numbers together. So what I want to do, I want to create a static library for later use in my other C++ program. So I created another construct file here, and this time instead of program function, I use another function which is called static library. This means that I want to create a static library which is called math, and I want to create this library from math.cpp. So let's run scons and see what it is going to do. As you can see, it's going to create for me a library, a static library, which is called libmath.a. I'm in Linux, but if you are in Windows, it has the extension .lib. So let's go to the next example. This example is similar to the previous example, but the only difference that this time we are going to create a shared library. So this time we are using shared library function. The first argument is the shell library name, and the second argument is the CPP file that we are going to use to create our shell library. So let's create that. Scons. As you can see, it's going to create for me a shared library. In my case, it has .so extension, but if you are on Windows, it's going to have .dll extension. So let's go to the next example. So in this program, I created a CPP file that is going to use the math library that we created before. So in this C++ code, as you can see, I include the IOStream, which is a standard C++ library. I also include my math.a, which is the header file that for my library that I created. And then I'm going to use math class to add the number 3 to 2. So normally, if you want to do this in Linux and you want to use the terminal, you do this. I use a G++ compiler. Then I specify the CPP file, which is the main.cpp. And then I specify the name of the library, which is the math. And then I specify the library path, which is the current folder. And here dot means current folder. If I run this, as you can see, it gives me a program which is called a.out, and it's going to give us the result number 5. So let's do the same thing with scons. So generally, there are many factors exist when you want to compile a C++ program or you want to create a C++ library. There are many C++ flags which you can define. There are some include paths which you want to add, or maybe there are few libraries that you want to include. In scons, you can define most of these factors inside a variable called environment. So each time you are calling these functions, program, static library, or shared library, scon use its default environment. Some variables that you can define inside environment are cc, which define which compiler you want to use to compile your C++ program, cflags, which define the C++ flags, lib define the library that you want to use, lib path is the library path folder, CPP path is the include file path, and CPP defines are macros that you want to define inside your C++ program. So now let's see how we can compile our main.cpp with this library with scons. So inside scons, I'm going to define new environment. And I'm going to create this environment with this variable libs, which is math. You can also define other library by adding comma and the name of other library. I also define my library path, which is current folder. And then I'm going to create program hello with this new environment. So let's see how does it work. As you can see, my program hello has been created and it's working. So I'm going to finish this video right here, and then in the next video I'm going to create my GDExtension project with help of scons. Have a good day. Till the next video. Bye.